Okay, hello everybody. John in heading home. We were setting up a project this morning over near Kilmallock and heading home via Kilfinnane. The project we're going to be working on later this summer relates to the Peter Robinson assisted emigration, which happened 200 years ago. A lot of people from this area of Munster received funding, assisted emigration, to leave Ireland to move to Ontario in Canada. And Kilfinnane, at least one family left from Kilfinnane, and that's where we are now. And I just want to drive through and then look at a burial site that's here in the town. The big trees in front of us here, straight ahead, that's the old medieval graveyard in there. You'd go in over there. Some lovely headstones in the ruined church, and the gable there, maybe not look so good. And here, this is a typical country street. I'm going to go for what Kilfinnane is like. Fairly wide street, main shop on the left, pubs, shops, hardware. We work with Ballyhowra Rural Development. They're based here on the right, their main offices. It's a hill, it's a village on a hill in the foothills of the Ballyhowras, and we did a few graveyard surveys here a few years ago, including here on the left, the Church of Ireland graveyard. I think it's St Andrews. First time I saw a gravestone signed by Joseph Bolster in there. Anyway, so that's your typical Church of Ireland, early 19th century. See the boundary wall. So I'm going to go back in again. And then we're going to take the back road out, the Mitchelstown Road. And up there on the right then there's a fever hospital. If I remember correctly, it was an early fever hospital. Can't remember now exactly, 1820s. There was a typhoid epidemic in the early 1800s. The people who went on the Peter Robinson assisted emigration, the older family members anyway, would have survived that, would have lived through that. And as part of the public health response to that fever, a series of fever hospitals were built. There was a later one then in the 1830s, but the Peter Robinson people had gone by then. And up here, as I turn right, there'll be a fever hospital on the right, and then the burial ground. The local historian was onto us, and he said that the burial. So this is going out the hill road. Kilfinnane has a lovely motte, an Anglo-Norman motte in here on the right. I won't swing the camera. The Garda barracks up here on the right. Can you see it? No. The old hall there. I'm pulling. So that building inside, I believe, is the fever hospital. So let's say that dates roughly 1810s, 1820s, if I got my right dates. So the people who went on the Peter Robinson, if they lived here, they would have seen that building. And the field up here, you see the inside in that field then, that the burial ground for the Fever Hospital was. I don't know how we can stop though. There's a gate there on the left, brings you into this field, and it was in this far corner of this field that there's supposed to have been a burial ground. So usually if there was an epidemic, there's a wall, a very old ash tree, and there's a gate. Don't know, will I go in there? If I go in, will I get out? I might just nip into the field and see, can we see anything? This is a recent gate. There the Ballyhowras there. Cush Mountain is that one. Very famous archaeological site up there. Group of early medieval ring forts. Get over this lad. Oh, jeez. It's alright, she's not on. Go under the wire rather than through it. This looks like it's been cut for silage already, so this is going into the second coat of silage. I remember looking at this before, that there was a burial ground over here in this corner. The field boundary here is actually a stream coming down out of this hill here on the right, and I think that's gathered in and it's taken down there, and it feeds down to a mill which is over there. So Kilfinnane had some industry, which explains why some of those buildings are quite grand back there. I think she had a good. Now it's a bit of a knoll. I think it's in here then was the burial ground. The ground is sloping down into the glen. I should have put on my boots, I'm drenched. Would they have buried here? Or would they have buried down the slope? They'd never buried people on the slope, would they? Oh, here, look at this. So, what I'm seeing here is there's a break of slope here. Direction downwards. And then in here, right in front of me, there's potentially just here now. Is that right? Yeah. Like if it was 1820s or 1830s, if the Fever Hospital had had a bad spell, then I suspect that it's in here then that they were burying the people. So rather than being I think it's potentially a type of a pit grave, as in not a single grave shaft, but multiples, maybe 2 wide, 3 wide. This looks bigger than that. All right, that's more interesting than I thought. I didn't think we'd be seeing that. So it's right here on the break of slope is going away down. And then here then, Covilche, kind of in there. It's all sloping down that way. Alright, so I have to check the date of the fever hospital in Kilfinnane. Whatever date is on that, then potentially there we have a pit grave relating to that. If I'm wrong, then the alternative is that somewhere in here, like I'll have to check the map, but if they were down off the slope, that's where they buried them, off the slope. But otherwise I'm beginning to think it's in there. Any chance of something there? No, maybe. Okay. Very interesting area, this whole Ballyhowra, the heritage of it, a lot of community activity, a lot of heritage projects ongoing, community supports. It's a fantastic place. I'm looking north now, so this is all the Golden Vale. Looking north towards Limerick. Just wondering what that is. No, sometimes you get badger tracks on the side of a field. I'm not sure. So later this summer we're going to be surveying graveyards all out there in that wilderness, in that countryside out there. Look forward to that. Okay, I'll leave it there now. Over and out.